Hey folks, I got a surprise for you. ATV towels.
For when your college TV diet spills into boredom, the plain program won't soak up your laughs like the fun-driven programmer of ATV. Watch this side-by-side comparison.
ATV, the laughter picker-upper.
It's upside down.
Oh.
Welcome back into the Eagles Nest. It's time for our 2-minute drill with Brian Mazurowski and RJ Santillo. The men's football team have lost 5 of their last 6 games. How will they fare in their game at Montclair State?
You know, unfortunately not good, Mike. Montclair is in a 3-way tie atop the NJAC Conference, 7-1 on the season. They play very, very well at home. Brockport struggles on the road, and until they win the turnover battle, they will continue to struggle. And they have a lot of young talent on this team. They will find out how to win these types of games, but not this week. Too tall a task for this young Brockport team. Unfortunately, they will drop this game.
Moving on to men's soccer, as Joe Marino tied the school's single-season shutout record with 10, will he break that record in the SUNYAC semifinal game against Fredonia?
Well, I think we did over-unders not too many weeks ago when it was over under 12.5. Many people were guessing. A lot of us said over. He has a chance to, and that's the one thing. They dropped their game against Fredonia, their last regular season game, 1-0, but they can easily turn that score around. I think he has the opportunity to do it.
And on the women's side, women's soccer 8-8 on the year as they wait for an ECAC bid. They're defending ECAC champions, but is this year's effort enough to propel them into the tournament?
You know, I think it's fair to say that they deserve a bid in this tournament. They've won it the last 2 years, and, you know, the unfortunate thing is it's taken them to this point each of the last 3 seasons to really turn it up a notch. And, you know, they run off a couple of consecutive wins each of the last 2 years to earn that ECAC title, but I think they'll get in. I think they'll make a run.
Women's field hockey plays Geneseo in the SUNYAC tournament. They've lost to Geneseo both times they faced them, but will the third time be the charm?
I don't know if this is the year for field hockey. Much improved off last season, but maybe let's wait another year before we start talking about playoff wins.
Brockport men's ice hockey 0-3 on the season. What do they need to do to get their first win?
Well, execution. I mean, the defense has to play better, and they really have to turn that defense into offense. The scoring chances have been there, but they have to be a little more often, and those chances have to be there.
We're out of time, gentlemen. That does it for your 2-minute drill. Join us next week for another edition of the Eagles Nest. We'd like to thank 89.1 The Point, Brockport Sports Information, and all of our staff here at the Eagles Nest. And now it's back to Brockport Weekly after this Golden Eagle flying highlight.
Beyond all recognition, and I know all your secrets. Well, I've already played this game. Come on. Well, let's turn off the light, 'cause I know you like keeping me in the dark. But your brain doesn't function. I think your makeup's running. So every time you look at it, I hope you think of me. And every time you swim
we always hear of students being caught for underage drinking. So for our hat trick this past week, we asked Brockport students how they feel about the drinking age.
I think the drinking age should be lowered, personally to 18. I believe if you're old enough to fight for your country, you're old enough to have a drink.
The drinking age should be lowered because I think part of the reason why underage drinking is such a problem is because kids do it to be rebellious.
The drinking age should be the same as it is, 21 years, because I don't think that anyone 18 or 19 is responsible enough to drink.
I feel as if it should be lowered because if we can go off and fight for our country, if we can go to jail, I mean, why shouldn't we be able to drink?
I think it should be lowered because people are more willing to go out and drink if they're younger, and then they'll get in trouble. But if it's lowered, it's more of like it's not something we can't do.
I'm already 21, so drinking's not a big issue for me. I think people who are 18 should be able to drink, but statistics I've seen said that it tends to lower the amount of accidents that happen.
I think the drinking age should be left the way it is because the fact that if we do lower the drinking age, we have an influx of students that would become intoxicated at the age 18, and the drinking age would then become 16 as it is kind of 18 now.
So when I was out filming, no one that I spoke to said that they should raise the drinking age.
That doesn't really surprise me. I don't think I've ever talked to anybody that has felt that it should be raised either.
Yeah, me either. I'm not surprised. Either lowering it to 18 or keeping it as is seems to be the common consent.
Yeah, the general consensus, basically. Would you like to pick this week's hat?
I will.
Each week, Brockport Weekly picks a topic from the hat and goes out and finds the answer for the following week. If you would like to suggest a hat trick, please visit brockporttv.com. Well, Sarah, what's our hat trick for this week?
We have, should men get paternity leave from work? You know, mothers get maternity leave. Shouldn't the father get paternity leave?
It's a very interesting question. I'm interested to see what everyone has to say.
Me too. Well, this concludes this week's edition of Brockport Weekly. I'm Sarah Mess.
And I'm Mackenzie Moore.